I'm romance author Nancy Harkness, and this is Writer Unedited number 90. Nice round number. This is where I just sit at my writing desk and I chat about whatever happens to cross my mind on today, or sometimes I even think about it 2 days ahead of time, so yesterday. And if you miss one of my lives, you can always find it on my YouTube channel, and I will put a link in the comments. So, book news. Just want to remind you, which I will be doing until September 24th, including September 24th. Royal Kaleva Raoul is up for pre-order at the special price of $2.99. Your pre-order will be supporting Harmony Dog Rescue in Pittsburgh. And I'm not going to say any more about it because that's enough. Because I say it every time and I know you're getting sick of hearing me. Raoul update. We'll hold up his picture again because he's so good looking. My proofreader sent Raoul's manuscript back to me. And I made my fixes and I had a few questions for her. So I sent it back to her because she always very generously wants to see it again, which is really, really nice of her to make sure I haven't messed anything up, frankly. So she did that and she has now sent it back to me. So I'm going to go through one more time. And then it goes to my formatter. So I'm on the home stretch because once the formatter, and she and I, Lisa's my formatter, she and I work together. It's an iterative process generally. And sorry. And then it gets uploaded to Amazon. Yay! So it'll be on time. Phew! It's always a little nerve-wracking when you set that pre-order date, when you set that release date, when you set up the pre-order and you set that release date, because Amazon really does not like you to change your release date once you've set it up and are doing the pre-orders. So right now, not good. It's looking good. I would like to do a big shout out to several of my review crew members because they get an advanced reading copy, which is not proofread. And they are kind enough to let me know if they find mistakes in it. And some of those mistakes get caught by my proofreader because she's working on it at the same time that they're reading it. But my review crew found several mistakes that nobody else caught. Not me, not the 3 editors who have seen it already, and these are professional editors. So I just want to say 1,000 thank yous to Shell Absher, Kate Rooney, and Terry Simsick, because you guys rock. They caught stuff no one else did. Which, you know, it's a book that's over 100,000 words, and the human brain tends to just sort of read things into it. So it's going to happen. In fact, I was talking about this on Facebook, you know, posting on Facebook about this, and another author said to me that her philosophy is that if that typo has gotten through multiple editors, then it deserves to be there because it's a tough little sucker, which made me laugh. So we're going to go with that. Any typos deserve to be there, right? Because I do try. I mean, I send it through a lot of editors, so they're tough little suckers, those typos. Mikkel's book, which is the one I'm working on now, I haven't made much progress on it recently because I've been proofreading. And also because last night I had critique group, and it's just, it takes up a lot of time. It's wonderful, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute. But I have to admit that I'm very excited about getting back to Mikkel's book tonight because that will be, I write at night generally, and so I'm raring to go to get back to that. I may even start early, like late this afternoon, so I can do even more. Who knows? But as I said, one reason I didn't write last night was because I had critique group, and I'm sure I've spoken about my critique group before as far as sort of how it works. But the truth is I can never say enough good things about my critique partners. They are not just wonderful editors, they are dear, close friends who understand the madness of being a writer. And so I thought I would tell you guys about them because they're so amazing and I think you should know about them. And I'm doing this in alphabetical order, last name, alphabetical order. Let me get this. So the first one I want to talk about is Miriam Allenson. This is the first book in her Tootsie Goldberg series called When She Gets Hot. And what Tootsie Goldberg, the Tootsie Goldberg series is humorous women's fiction with some mystery elements in it. It's a 5-book series right now. This is book number 1, as I said, and Miriam is working on the 6th book, and that's what we were critiquing last night, the pages for last night. Tootsie is quirky and funny, and what she is a hellraiser. That's what she calls herself, because what she does is she helps people solve problems that no one else is helping them solve. And she also actually has, in my opinion, the hottest significant other ever. That would be Steve, the ex-cop, who is yummy, just yummy. So when she first meets him and doesn't like him very much in this book, When She Gets Hot, she refers to him as Black Windbreaker because she doesn't know his name and he wears a black windbreaker all the time. But eventually she comes to know him, and in fact now he's her husband. So, but that develops through the books. Miriam's greatest talents, in my opinion, are her voice, which is just delightful and funny, and her characters, which are so incredibly vivid that they just, including the secondary characters, they just leap off the page. They're so distinctive too. Like, if Tootsie's talking, you don't need dialogue tags. You know it's Tootsie because she talks like the strong, slightly ditzy, but smart. I mean, she uses ditziness as her secret weapon. I love that about her. But she's very smart and very strong. When Steve talks, he sounds exactly like a cop. And, that's a real talent to be able to do that. I laugh all the way through her books, even when I'm critiquing them, trying to judge them, so to speak. I'm laughing. Let's see, what else was I going to say about her? And she also writes contemporary romance. This was her debut novel, For Love of the Dame. And to this day, it's one of my all-time favorite rom-com contemporary romances. The heroine is an opera singer. The hero is a baseball player. And you can imagine that's an interesting combination. And what I love is when it opens, the heroine is singing the national anthem at a baseball game. Isn't that great? Isn't that a great way to bring them together? I just love it. It's very, very funny. Highly recommend it. Number 2 is, so my critique partner, Lisa, is a little schizophrenic. She is Lisa Ann Verge when she writes romances. So I'm going to talk about those first. She writes both contemporary and historical romances. She also writes women's fiction, which I'll get to. She's currently working on the 3rd book in the King's Girls series. This is the 1st book in the King's Girls series, Heaven in His Arms. These books are set in around Montreal in the 1600s. Sort of it's a very unique setting and quite fascinating. Not something I knew about. The King's Girls are a true historical, I don't know what you would call it, phenomenon, maybe? The French king, there weren't enough women in French Canada, and so the king offered women passage to Canada if they would agree to marry, to choose a husband there. So these books are about the King's Girls and what happens to them, 3 of the King's Girls. What else was I going to say? Yes, Lisa does amazing dialogue. You will find dialogue is kind of my thing, but all my critique partners do great dialogue. But and Lisa also does just like gorgeous lyrical descriptions, which is wonderful in historical novels because you kind of need to feel like you're there. But you feel like you can walk into the scene because they're so gorgeous. And the scenes get pretty hot and swingy at times. I like hot, so. She also writes the Celtic Legends series, which are Celtic. Obviously, they're set in Ireland, well, Great Britain anyway. And they have a touch of magic, also historical. Again, gorgeous descriptions. The clothes, just fabulous. And the characters are so delicious and romantic in all of her books. So she also writes fantastic women's fiction as Lisa Verge Higgins. Can you see her name there? Lisa Verge Higgins. This is the Proper Care and Maintenance of Friendship. It was a bestseller. It's the first book of hers that I actually critiqued when I joined the critique group. I can't remember actually how many years ago, but it was a while. And wonderful, wonderful book. All of her women's fiction is terrific. Again, you know, the dialogue, the characters, the beautiful descriptions. Can't go wrong. And finally, again, this is alphabetical order, hopefully, Jennifer Wilk. So this book is her next book to come out. It's not out yet, but I love the cover so much I wanted to share it. Jennifer writes both Jewish and non-Jewish contemporary romance. Her books feature damaged heroes, sassy heroines, witty banter, and hot chemistry. I especially love the edge of snark that she brings to her characters, both internalizations and dialogue. I love a little snark. It's never mean. It's just funny. It always cracks me up. I also love the Jewish romances, in particular because I love that extra cultural element that brings to them, makes them unique. I mean, obviously there are other Jewish romances, but I think it makes them unique. And I always learn something from her stories, and I love learning something when I'm reading. So this is the upcoming release. Oh, and the other fun thing about Falling for the Rabbi in the next book, which she's working on now, which I think is called Hometown Crush, but I think that might change, is that they involve a matchmaker. So, you know, and matchmakers still exist in this day and age. It's not all apps, right? Although the matchmaker also does apps, so it's fun. What else did I want to tell you about this? Oh, I adore the hero in this one, Falling for the Rabbi, in particular, because he reminds me of the Hot Rabbi in Nobody Wants This, the Netflix series. Does anybody else watch that? I love that one. So you can pre-order Falling for the Rabbi now. I also, just to show you a book, so this is also has Jewish elements, Addicted to Love. It's not part of the Matchmaker series that's coming out now, but this hero kind of, I really liked him. Dan, his daughter is in the book, and he's damaged and works through it with Hannah, the heroine. So one of my favorites of Jen's books. And I will put the links to all their websites in the comments below so that you can look for them yourself. Does anybody have comments? So I'm trying to see. I don't see. Gail says, thanks for the new authors I can check out. You're welcome, Gail. It's always fun, right? I like finding new authors, and it's not so easy these days. There's an awful lot out there. So one more reminder that this is the great bookmark giveaway month. If you are a newsletter subscriber, you can request an autographed bookmark for Raoul's book. And you will get an autographed one and a couple of non-autographed ones, which I hope you will give to your friends. Some people who are so wonderful actually frame my bookmarks. So they have, you know, a display of all of them. These are the previous bookmarks, and obviously Mikkel will have his own bookmark before I put them all together in a series bookmark. And final announcement is just to remind you, The Agent is on sale on Kindle for $2.49 and will be on sale for the remainder of this month, August, which is flying by. Who else thinks August is flying by? I thought, you know, generally because it's really hot and nasty, and I sort of shut myself inside, and Gail, I know you do too, because it's even hotter where you are. I find August drags, but this August, I think because I have a book release coming up in September, because Raoul comes out September 24th, and things accelerate as you get closer. Also, my daughter's getting married in October, so that's accelerating as I get closer. That August has just gone whoosh. In fact, the whole summer. I remember thinking that about June and July, and now all of a sudden it's August. It's the 20th. We're 2/3 over with August. How did that happen? Anybody have questions or comments? Gail? Gail says, I can never remember what the date is because exactly the only reason I know it's the 20th is that it says so right at the bottom of my computer screen. Also, when I do a live, I have to figure out when the next live is going to be because I have to announce the date. So that means I have to know what today's live is generally to add 7. And that brings me to my next live, which will be on, drumroll, August 27th, exactly 7 days from today at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. As always, I hope folks will join me because it's fun, right, Gail? Gail, thank you so much for coming. It is always a pleasure to have you here. And I got nothing else to talk about. I need to get to work on Mikkel's book, right? Although I'm having so much fun thinking about it. Just the next scene, I've already like jiggered around the next scene about 3 times. I haven't even written it yet, which is what happens. I have to think about it first. So I've already rejiggered the next scene about 3 times because it takes me a while when I first start a book to sort of get settled into it. And so I'm in the settling in period here. Gail says, anytime, have a great week. We want to see Raul and Mikkel. Yes. Alrighty. Thank you so much for coming. Take care.